Starting this August, you can't take the LSAT from your bedroom anymore. Almost everybody has to walk into a testing center to do it. And the Law School Admission Council told you why. People testing from home were about 40% of everyone who took the LSAT, but they were the majority of the scores LSAC had to freeze and investigate it. So they were less than half of the test takers, causing most of the problems. Now, everybody's reading this as some disaster for applicants, more stress, more hassle, but I read it the other way. I think this is the best thing that's happened to honest test takers in years. Now, the LSAT at home didn't get retired because it was old, it's because people were cheating on it. This whole move follows a cheating services scandal in the remote test in mainland China. Organized operations cracked the LSAT if you could take it alone in your own room on your own computer. And I want to be clear, this is not about an entire country or a whole group of people. It's about businesses that found vulnerabilities and exploited them. And these holes were openly for sale. There were services advertising in the open on online forums. They had proxy test takers who'd log in as you. They stole the questions ahead of time. They had cameras and remote access to your screen, all of it going for thousands of dollars a shot. Now, for years, your honest score was getting ranked on the same curve as people with scores that might have been bought. So you did everything right with no promise that the person beside you did. And so that 40% stat tells us that there was a select group causing a lot of problems, a pile of scores LSAC couldn't fully stand behind. And so they wanted to lock down the test to protect having a number that schools could trust. Now, I want you to stop panicking. This is not a new test. The questions have not changed. The scoring didn't change. It's still 120 to 180. You've still got 2 scored logical reasoning sections, 1 scored reading comp section, and an unscored extra section mixed in. Of course, there are no more logic games. Those have been gone since 2024, about 2 years now. What changed is the room where you take it and the screen that you take it on. And so if somebody on Reddit swears the August LSAT is harder, they're guessing, they don't know, but your prep is still effective. Now, because 2/3 of your score is logical reasoning, that means that any gains you make in your understanding of logical reasoning are doubled across those 2 sections, so your time should be disproportionately focused on logical reasoning. Don't use LSAT for Dummies or old hand-me-down books that still talk about logic games. That's a test that retired 2 years ago. Putting your time where the points actually reside, the math here is pretty clear. Now, law school applications jumped up this year. The newest LSAC numbers put applications up almost 12%, more than 500,000 applications. Applicant numbers up more than 9%. That's the second consecutive year they've been rising. Every extra applicant in that pool is one more person standing between you and the seat that you want. And a crowded year is exactly when that thing gets more powerful, not less. Your LSAT score is the biggest lever you have at your disposal. Now, for 5 years, every headline was telling you the LSAT was dying. Schools added the GRE. A few went test optional. The whole story was the LSAT matters less now. But LSAC spent real money behind the LSAT. They put in tens of thousands of test center seats, partnering with Prometric. They locked the test down harder than it's been in a decade. You don't pour that resource into something that's been dying. It's the whole asset that the whole system runs on. Now, this change punishes exactly one group, the people planning to wing the LSAT. When the LSAT was at home a click away on your couch, you could roll the dice easily and see what happens. But if you're going into a proctored testing center, it's a test that's harder to cheat on. It's a more crowded year. All of that rewards you if you prepare properly, and it punishes those who don't. So if your plan was just to wait and see how it goes, that plan just got a lot more expensive. Now, when anybody could test from their couch, every score had a quiet asterisk given all the reports of cheating, but now your number is verified in a room with a proctor. That same 170 plus is worth more in a file because no one's going to question how you got it. Now, schools don't keep your highest score just to be nice. They do it because they need it. A big chunk of a law school's ranking rides on the median LSAT score of the class it enrolls. And so when you land above their median, you're giving them something they need, and they pay you for it in scholarship dollars. That's the leverage most applicants never realize they need. A few more points on the LSAT is the difference between paying for law school and getting paid to go to law school. At the very top, LSAT medians now sit 170 to 174. If you come in a couple points above a school's median, They will give you scholarship money to attract you to their school because you raise their standing in the US News Law School rankings. So you could have the same degree, same 3 years put into it, and your LSAT score weighs more heavily, giving you more scholarship money based on the number that you get. And of course, the LSAT is the only part that you can jump up in just a couple of months. Your GPA is locked in, your major is a done deal, your work history is what it is, but your LSAT score is the one number that ties directly to what you do between now and test day when you apply. People treat it like it's a fixed trait, but it's actually a skill that you can learn. It's a skill that you can train. Now, if you've been studying in bed with a dog at your feet, that's a test that no longer exists. The August LSAT is at a Prometric testing center. You're going to show a government-issued photo ID. You're going to lock your phone in a cabinet, and you're going to sit in a room full of strangers taking other exams. The clock does not stop if you panic. And if the first time you feel that panic is on test day, your score is going to come back lower than you deserve, and you're going to blame luck, but it wasn't luck. You can practice the real conditions now on the new interface LSAC has already released inside the Law Hub platform. And if you take it, if it doesn't go your way, or if you took it previously and it didn't go your way, you have one more shot or multiple shots. Schools only take the highest LSAT score on your record. They do not average multiple LSAT scores. And so one bad day does not define you. You could even register for a backup LSAT just in case you need it. Law schools will only take into consideration the highest LSAT score on your record because that's what they report to the law school. I mean, that's what they report to the American Bar Association, which in turn is where the US News pulls their data from for inclusion in the law school rankings. Now, LSAC has made a new rule starting with the August LSAT that your registration order determines the order in which you get to schedule your LSAT. And there are limited testing seats with Prometric in person, and you are required to take it in person with rare exceptions. And so if you don't want to have the worst days, the worst times, the worst locations far from wherever you live, you want to sign up for the LSAT earlier, ideally the day the window opens, which it already has, of course. And so try to sign up now so that you will have a better pick of in-person testing centers when it comes time to schedule. Now, of course, you can't control how many people apply to law school this year. You can't control the law school admission council or the testing center or whether your top school takes the GRE. None of that is your decision, but your LSAT score is the one number you can move. And if you want my help getting that score up, I'm here to help you out. I'm offering free LSAT tutoring for everybody watching this now and later. You can book that free LSAT tutoring lesson with me personally at unpluggedprep.com/start. The link is below the video on YouTube, pinned in the chat on YouTube, in my bio on TikTok and IG. I've also put together a free LSAT cheat sheet to help you jumpstart your LSAT prep. You can grab that free cheat sheet at unpluggedprep.com/cheat sheet. Again, link is below, pinned in the chat in my bio. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central, 11 Pacific. I'll see you all then. In the meantime, all the best and take care.